Alrighty, fellas. Today we are playing a little bit of PokeMMO Mythbusters, okay? Because I have heard from a little birdie, a trusted little birdie, that these Sweet Scent Ocarina might be a little bit faster than using Sweet Scent on a traditional Pokemon. If that is true, that is going to be a really big deal for Shiny War, for everyone to have a Sweet Scent Ocarina, and especially, I might even end up buying one on my Ironman account and using some very valuable resources, my RP, the most valuable resource on my Ironman account, to get myself a Sweet Scent Ocarina. So we're going to test today. We're going to do a few different tests. We're going to do a 10-minute test and then probably an hour test of both to see like long-term how it plays out and everything like that. Now, first things first, I want to show people, my methodology of testing. I am going to be using Lepa Berries and I am going to be at the Dratini spot. If I get a shiny, we'll just pause the timer, I guess, and have to reset or whatever. That'll be funny if that happens, but hopefully that doesn't happen so it doesn't interrupt the test. The one time I'm wishing to not get a shiny. I can also pop a shiny charm, 2 shiny charms as my little timers on screen. I like the idea of that, plus it's fun. Let's go for that today. Okay, I'm hearing a few different things from my Twitch chat. I'm hearing that the main time save, that's what we're here to test today. I'm hearing the main time save is from the healing method of healing at the PC instead of having to heal at the Poke Center with the Sweet Scent Ocarina. But the problem with that is I don't like the comparison because most people could also heal their Sweet Scent Pokemon at the PC, but don't because it's more effort and that's hard to maintain long term. But maybe the effort is so much lower on the Ocarina that it's worth it, obviously. We'll test a few things today. I think we're going to ditch the 1-hour test. We're going to do multiple 10-minute tests, okay? So I'm going to get a notepad document up of all the different tests we're going to do today. We're going to outline, we're going to create a thesis, and we're going to get to our 10-minute test. We're going to do like at least 4 different individual 10-minute tests, and we'll start a trip for each one. So we're going to go ahead and start our first trip. And this will just be for sweet scenting with Lepa Berries with the Ocarina. Alrighty, fellas, there's a bunch of stuff on our screen right now. We have our timer for 10 minutes in the top left-hand corner way up there. We have our notepad document with our strategies we're testing today. We're going to focus first on the Sweet Scent Ocarina. We're going to do Lepas first. So we're going to test the Lepa strategies first. So we're going to get rid of this one just for temporarily. Just for now. And we're going to go ahead and lock in. I'm going to ignore Twitch chat for 10 minutes. It's going to kill them. I know. We're going to lock in and see how much we can do. I also should test my ping. So my ping right now, because ping matters, you can type /ping in PokeMMO to check it. My ping right now is 73 ms on the server Polnareff. That does matter, okay? Let's go ahead and get started, fellas. This is with the Sweet Scent Ocarina. We have our trip started. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. Good luck, fellas. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Important note that IG and Danny reminded us of. Make sure to have the auto-replenish Sweet Scent item or auto replenish Sweet Scent setting turned on. So under gameplay, you have auto replenish PP items. That's going to save you 1 click and 1 tick, which matters. Like we're talking like very tick. I'm trying to tick perfect shunt today to get these proper tests. We are down to our final 8 seconds. I will count any encounters that get gotten before the animation. I count that. That's the final one. So that is 215 encounters in 10 minutes. At 200 encounters in 10 minutes, you're reaching 1,200 encounters an hour. That is over 1,200 encounters an hour. What's the math on that? 215 times 6. Let's do 210 times 6 because let's assume you can't get let's not assume that actually. Maybe we will not count that one. You have to leave. I think that's fair. We'll equate for some like human error. You have to like leave the battle, the bathroom breaks. We're gonna count that as 210 encounters. Okay, so we're gonna not count that final one. 210 encounters. 210 times 6. That would be 1,260 encounters per hour, man. Like that's really, really, really good. Now let's test with Sweet Scent the move. I don't know if there'll be much of a difference here. For the sake of it, I'm gonna go heal up just to make it even. I'll go heal up really quick. And we'll jump back into the same spot. So I'm going to do Pokemon Sweet Scent with Lepas. All right, fellas, starting a new trip. Boom, 0 encounters. Starting our timer. 3, 2, 1. I will see you guys in 10 minutes. This is Pokemon with Lepas. Alrighty, fellas, the clock is ticking down. I don't think the time left is enough for another horde, which means we are going to end with the same exact encounters, which is a really good thing. I mean, that's a good sign. It also means I was probably tick perfect if I was able to get the same encounters like that. So, okay. That is that test. Both of them got 210. So when people say that Ocarina is faster, it must be when talking about the healing method. So now we're going to test PC heals, non-Lepa shunning, which is harder to do tick perfect. So I'm actually going to have to like warm up, I think, a little bit and try to like grease my engine a little bit and see if I can still do hordes near a PC properly, and then pick a good horde, like a close horde to a PC to do so as well. Okay, we're actually running into complications here because different regions heal at different speeds. So I might need to do, I could do a third test, I could do a fourth test. There's actually a lot to factor in here, and it's getting a lot more complicated than I expected. There's also the question, the main question is, what region do we test this in? How comparable do we need it to be? And then do we do PC heals, like by talking to Nurse Joy, or do we do PC heals as in going, interacting with the PC, and then leaving? I think the main thing that people are saying the Sweets in Ocarina is faster on is with PC heals, like talking to the PC. My problem with that is, yes, of course, if you compare, most people when they Sweet Scent with a Pokemon, they don't do the PC heals with the Pokemon, which they could do by doing this, which is a little bit slower than PC heal Lepas, but very, like a second or two. Super, super minimal. But obviously that can add up over the course of a Shiny War. Is that worth the RP, the extra RP? Probably not, in my opinion. I think people are comparing, this is my thesis, I don't know if I have to test. I think people are comparing healing with Nurse Joy with a Pokemon to healing with the Ocarina at a PC, which is like 2 steps removed as opposed to 1 step removed. Which makes, of course, Sweets and Ocarina would be faster then. So that's my concern. So the best way to test this, I think we just do 3 tests. We're going to go to Sinnoh. I think we do 3 tests. I think we do like 2 more tests. We do one with PC heals and Nurse Joy heals. And we're going to do it in Sinnoh. The heals here are pretty slow. So it'll be interesting to see as well how that changes. We're going to try here. We're going to try it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get the, first things first, we're going to do PC heals, which is going to require more mechanics. And I'm going to test a little bit before I actually start a new trip. Because I need to be doing this, boom, boom, and then I would just leave for Sweet Scent. For Pokemon, I would like lead with the Smeargle. I have to hover over, and like, that was very slow. So let's do one more test. Let's see. You can move spots. You would do that. You would control click and do that. And that would be the way you do it with Pokemon. I didn't even save my heal spot. So we're gonna do some testing, grease these wheels a bit, and then I'll see you guys with the first test. Okay, I have to lock in a way that my chat has never seen me locked in to get a mechanically accurate test on this, okay? So we're gonna be cranking the house music. I will see you guys in 10 minutes. We are doing the Sweet Scent Ocarina PC heals test first. See you guys in 3, 2, 1. All right, that took 4 attempts. I reset 4 times. I'm not gonna count this final horde. I reset 4 times to get you guys proper tick perfect data. I ended up doing 185. That is really good. Like in comparison, like obviously Lepas are to get you more, but that is really close for healing at the PC, man. And now I'm gonna have to now we're gonna do with the Pokemon, and that's even mechanically harder. I was hitting the line. I was like I was healing every time I was doing this. I was swerving around the granny. This girl fucking blocked me 3 times. I had to reset. It was insane. Now we're doing the Pokemon reset, which is going to be like this. Or we could actually do this. I don't know if that's faster though. Or, ooh, the ultra high-end strat is going to be... Yeah. How did I get that? That was really lucky. There you go. You have to set up your boxes like this to do it. I'm trying to do everything tick perfect. As highly mechanically accurate as I can. Let's make it way easier. Okay. So we're going to try that. We got our timer set for 10 minutes. I'm going to lock back in. I'm going to crank my music and start the timer off camera. So I got a new trip started. Sweet Scent Ocarina is healed. I will see you guys with this test in 10 minutes. I think I'm actually going to tie. That's crazy. I'm either going to tie it or it's going to be really close. I think we... Now, you did get like half a horde more. If this was a 1 hour test, We got 185 on the dot in the 10-minute test. But I do believe if this was a 10-minute test, or sorry, 1-hour test, you would have seen a little bit more of a difference. You would have seen a half horde difference every 10 minutes. So that's an extra, what, 3 hordes an hour. So realistically, I do think you get about 3 extra hordes an hour using the Sweets and Ocarina PC heal strategy compared to the Pokemon one. But that is, dude, it's so sweaty. And I feel like, and this is also so sweaty. Most people I don't think are going to be healing this way during Shiny War. Some might, and I respect it. Now what I'm curious to test, I think the most pragmatic numbers you need to learn here, number 1 is how good Lepas are. And then number 2, how much slower Nurse Joy healing is compared to PC healing and compared to Lepas. I think that's actually really interesting. That's true. Just opening the PC is much easier and probably more maintainable long term than having to put the Smeargle in and back out. That actually is like relevant. Sweets, okay, let me qualify. Sweets and Ocarina on a main account, just have it. Even if you got 5 more hordes an hour, the 300k from Ocarina, it's on a main account, just get it. This whole study has been for me on an Ironman account. Should I get it? That's the real, and so far I'm looking at no. Not worth my very valuable RP resources. But on a main account, well, I mean, honestly, on a main account, should you actually buy Sweets and Ocarina, or should you just buy more Lepas with that Pokeyen? You might just want to buy more Lepas. To be, we'll have to crunch those numbers. Let's test the Nurse Joy healing. I think this will be pretty interesting. Let's do the we'll do the Pokemon healing first. This will be the most chill one, the most mechanically easy. The only thing I can't do is if I double heal, I will have to reset or whatever. I will have to, and that'll suck. So hopefully I don't do that, but let's get set up, and I'll see you guys in 10 more minutes. Okay, I will say, since all the time save is on the like method of heals, I don't think we need to test Nurse Joy on both Pokemon heals and Ocarina heal. I think we only need to test Nurse Joy on one. Yeah, the method won't matter. So we're just going to do the Sweets and Ocarina Nurse Joy test. All right, I probably don't get another Sweets in. So that's probably, like, I don't think this will finish. I mean, I could do 0.5. I did add 0.5 for the Sweets and Ocarina, because I think it's a relevant difference. Like, I do think that, yeah, it's going to tick down. I would add 0.5 to this. So whatever the, Wait, look at my trip chat. Wait, what? 180.5. Wait, what? I am shocked. This is why you do like Mythbusters and tests and stuff and not just like assume what's the case. I did not realize that healing at the PC was this close to PC heals. That's insane. Like, you might need to do like an hour-long test to truly get a proper difference here. But PC heals are so much more effort than Nurse Joy heals, right? And the fact that it's only a 1 horde difference in 10 minutes, so it ends up being a 6 horde difference, a full inventory, which actually that's about what we expect, actually, a full inventory over an hour. Like, that actually is relevant. So you get 30 more encounters. If you heal at the PC versus Nurse Joy, you'll get 30 more encounters an hour over the course of one Shiny War. Let's say you're a 300-hour player, that's times 30 more encounters. That is an extra 9,000 encounters over the course of Shiny War by simply healing at the PC versus Nurse Joy. But that's obviously difficult to do. But like, this is why stuff like this adds up. Like, I've always talked about, like, efficiency during Shiny War matters so much, right? If someone's let's say we have 2 people who are both 300-hour players, okay? And let's say someone does 800 encounters an hour. That's respectable. 800 encounters an hour for 300 hours is pretty respectable. That's 240,000 encounters, okay? But if someone does like peak efficiency and manages to do 300 hours at 1,000 encounters per hour, it's a 2 shiny difference. Think about that. That is a 20% difference of efficiency, which equates to 60,000 encounters. 2 shinies on average. efficiency matters during Shiny War, and it really, really matters long term. This is why tests like this are so important and why min-maxing matters for Shiny War if you plan to go for it. And imagine, well, now imagine every single player on a team does that. Imagine that's if every single player gets 2 more shinies because they're more efficient, right? That's 60 more shinies. Like that's the difference. A team could get 60 more shinies over the course of Shiny War by healing at the PC versus Nurse Joy. This is why efficiency matters when it comes to super. Now, this does not matter for the average player, does not matter for a lot of people, but this matters for super high-end efficiency and for people trying to be top 10, top 5, top 3 in Shiny War. You have to push your limits, to do everything within your control, man. It is not an easy thing. You've got to use every power you have at your disposal, every little min-max you can get to be one of the best in the world. All right, we've done our data, we've done our test, but what is our conclusion? Number 1, you got to use strings. I think strings do make things a little bit faster, and every little bit matters and helps. Okay, I have video guides. If you Google PokeMMO strings, I have guides and videos on that. PC heal when you can. I know you're not always going to be able to, but that difference really can add up over the course of a Shiny War, over the course of multiple hours. PC heal whenever you can. Whenever you have, if you're like, people are going to be shiny hunting in different ways. Like if you're like at the gym on the treadmill, you probably maybe can't. Hopefully you're Lepaing, right? You want to save your Lepas and use your Lepas when you can as well. You want to think about that. I've already been talking to my team leaders and team organizers in my war team, and we're talking about saving Lepas for things like when you're at the gym, when you've got to do the dishes, or things like that. Like we have things that we have to do in our daily life that we do need to save our efficient shiny hunting for to get better usage out of them. So use strings. PC heal when you can, when you're like at your desktop, have this ability to do so. Use Lepas whenever you can and save your Lepas for important moments. And then Ocarina is nice but not needed. I don't think Ocarina makes that much of a meaningful difference, but if this is the same difference as if you're going for high rank, I would say get Ocarina. And I think Ocarina is so cheap that it's almost like everybody should, if you're a main account, almost everybody should get it just in case. But it only really matters if you're doing the PC heal, not the Nurse Joy heal. But if it's the same difference here to here, right? It's relevant. So I factor it in. Ocarina is nice but not needed for the average player. I would just go ahead and grab it just in case if you're going for high rank, top 10 plus. Use level you can, PC heal, strings. That's my thoughts. That's my conclusions. Hopefully this video helps some players out there. It was a lot of fun to go through and run these tests. As always, if you found this video helpful, because I had to really reset and do a lot of things to get this data, like the video. It's an easy way to help me. Subscribe, follow me on Twitch, watch streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET, even on the weekends sometimes like this. Discord's down below if you're interested. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations allow me to do tests and fun content like this on top of the daily streams and stream recaps. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. For now, peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody's name who is on this list. You really allow me to make the content that I do every single day, and I hope I can make it worth your guys' while and add to your PokeMMO journey. Thanks again so much for watching the entire video, and have a great day.